Good evening, everyone. There's a mistake people make when they think about love. They assume it's something to be found, something waiting out there, just beyond their reach. So they search, they long, they chase, desperate to grasp it, only to find it slipping through their fingers time and time again. But here's the reality. Love isn't something you find, it's something you attract. And the only way to attract something real is to become someone real. If you want to be loved, the first step is to be worthy of love, not in a superficial, performative way, but in a deep, undeniable sense. Ask yourself, am I living a life of meaning? Am I building something worthwhile? Am I someone I respect? If the answer is no, then why should anyone else feel differently? If you want to attract real love, the first step is to stop looking outward and start looking inward. Too many people believe that love is something external, something that will arrive when the right person comes along. But the truth is, love is a reflection of who you are. If you want something genuine, you must first become someone who naturally draws it in. This means building yourself into a person of strength, integrity, and purpose. It means taking responsibility for your life instead of waiting for someone to complete you. No one is coming to fix your insecurities, to fill your emptiness, or to make you feel valuable. That's your job. When you rely on others for validation, you hand them control over your self-worth. But when you build yourself up, when you cultivate discipline, knowledge, and self-respect, you take back that power. People are drawn to individuals who have a sense of direction, who move with purpose, who carry themselves with confidence, not because they pretend to be confident, but because they have worked for it. Confidence is not a mask. It is the result of competence. When you develop skills, challenge yourself, and push through your weaknesses, you naturally grow into someone who stands tall, someone who commands respect without having to ask for it. Love is not about finding someone to fix you. It's about finding someone to share the life you've built. And if you haven't built anything, if you're not proud of who you are, then why should anyone else be? Become disciplined. Set high standards for yourself. Be the kind of person who follows through on their words, who treats others with kindness and fairness, not out of weakness, but out of strength. A weak person needs love to feel whole. A strong person gives love because they are already whole. So don't chase love. Become someone worth loving. Work on yourself, not because you want to impress others, but because you respect yourself enough to grow. And when you do that, the right people will take notice, not because you begged for their attention, but because you became impossible to ignore. Most people fear being alone, not because solitude is painful, but because it forces them to confront themselves. They fill their days with distractions, seeking validation from others, afraid of the silence that comes when there is no one around. But if you cannot be at peace in your own company, how can you expect to build a strong, meaningful connection with someone else? Love does not fix loneliness. It amplifies who you already are. If you enter a relationship feeling empty, you will only bring that emptiness with you. Solitude is not a punishment. It is a training ground. It is where you learn who you are without the influence of others. It is where you build emotional resilience, self-awareness, and independence. Many people enter relationships hoping to be saved, believing that love will fill the void inside them. But no one wants to carry the weight of someone else's unresolved struggles. The strongest relationships are not built on dependence, but on two individuals who are already whole, coming together to grow even more. When you learn to enjoy solitude, you become someone who doesn't settle for shallow connections just to avoid being alone. You develop higher standards, not out of arrogance, but out of self-respect. You become selective, choosing people who truly add value to your life, rather than those who merely provide temporary comfort. Spending time alone also forces you to face your weaknesses and build your strengths. It gives you the space to develop skills, set goals, and cultivate a life that is fulfilling on its own. When you do this, relationships become a choice, not a necessity. You no longer look for love out of desperation, but from a place of confidence and clarity. A person who is comfortable in solitude carries a different energy. They do not cling. They do not beg, they do not seek validation from others. They radiate a quiet confidence that draws the right people towards them. When you master solitude, you stop fearing loneliness and start embracing independence. And when you finally connect with someone, it is not because you need them, but because you truly want them in your life. Too many people walk through life expecting others to give them what they have not yet given themselves. They demand love, respect, loyalty, and effort from those around them, yet they fail to hold themselves to the same standard. But life does not work that way. You cannot ask for more than you are willing to give. Before you expect someone else to show up for you, ask yourself, have you shown up for yourself? It is easy to point fingers, to say that people do not treat you well, that they do not give you the attention or respect you deserve. But have you earned that respect through your actions? Have you built the discipline to follow through on your commitments? Have you held yourself accountable for the life you are creating? It is not enough to wish for a strong, loving relationship. You must become the type of person who naturally attracts and sustains one. This means setting high standards for yourself before expecting them from others. If you want honesty, be honest. If you want loyalty, be loyal. If you want ambition, be ambitious. The world does not respond to what you say you want, it responds to who you are. And if you are constantly disappointed by the people in your life, perhaps it is time to stop looking outward and start improving inward. Growth is uncomfortable. It requires sacrifice, discipline, and the willingness to confront your own shortcomings. But the more you demand from yourself, the more powerful you become. You start to realize that success in any area, relationships, career, personal growth, is not given, it is earned. You stop blaming others for your unhappiness because you understand that your life is your responsibility. When you hold yourself to a higher standard, everything changes. You naturally attract people who respect your values, who appreciate your strength, and who are willing to meet you at the level you have set. And if they cannot meet that standard, you will no longer feel the need to beg, to chase, or to lower yourself just to be accepted. You will know your worth, not because someone told you, but because you built it with your own hands. The best relationships, whether romantic, professional, or personal, are not built on expectations placed on others. They are built on mutual respect between people who have done the work within themselves first. When you demand more from yourself, you no longer settle for less from others, not because you are entitled, but because you have become someone who truly deserves more. Attraction is not about begging for someone's attention, nor is it about proving your worth to them. It is about how you carry yourself, how you respect yourself, and how you move through the world with confidence and purpose. People are not drawn to desperation, they are drawn to strength. When you chase, when you cling, when you make someone else the center of your universe, you do not create desire. You create pressure. And pressure pushes people away. Real attraction begins with self-respect. It is knowing that you are enough as you are, that your value does not depend on someone else's approval. When you respect yourself, you naturally set boundaries. You do not tolerate mistreatment, and you do not seek validation through constant reassurance. This kind of self-assurance is magnetic. It makes people curious. It makes them pay attention, not because you are demanding it, but because you are quietly confident in who you are. Neediness, on the other hand, repels. It sends the message that you believe you are incomplete, that you need someone else to make you feel valuable. But no one wants to be responsible for someone else's sense of self-worth. Love should not be a rescue mission. The strongest relationships are built on mutual admiration, not dependency. If you feel like you must prove yourself, convince someone to choose you, or constantly fight for their attention, then the foundation is already weak. The key to attraction is not playing games or pretending to be someone you are not. It is about becoming someone whose presence is naturally compelling. This happens when you focus on your own growth, when you build a life that is exciting and fulfilling with or without a partner. People are drawn to those who are secure in themselves, who have passions, who move with direction and certainty. When you live this way, you do not have to chase anyone. The right people will recognize your value and step toward you willingly. Attraction is never about convincing, it is about becoming. The moment you stop trying to be what you think others want and start being unapologetically yourself, the right people will notice, not because you begged for their attention, but because you respected yourself enough to know that you never had to. Confidence is not something you wake up with one day. It is not an act, not a performance, and not something you can fake your way into for long. Real confidence is earned. It is built through action, through discipline, through facing challenges head on. It comes from proving to yourself over and over again that you are capable, that you can handle what life throws at you, and that you are in control of your own path. Many people try to look confident, without doing the work to be confident. They speak louder, they posture, they act as if they are fearless, but deep down they still doubt themselves because they have not built a foundation strong enough to support real self-belief. Confidence does not come from pretending, it comes from competence. When you develop skills, when you push past your fears, when you keep promises to yourself, you begin to trust in your own abilities. That trust is what real confidence looks like. It is quiet, steady, unshakable. You cannot think your way into confidence. You must act your way into it. Every time you step outside of your comfort zone, every time you face something difficult, instead of avoiding it, every time you push yourself to be better, you are earning confidence. It is built in the gym when you push for one more rep. It is built when you speak up instead of staying silent. It is built when you do the work even when no one is watching. Each small victory adds up until one day you realize that you no longer need to convince yourself that you are strong. You know it because you have lived it. People who try to fake confidence often crumble under pressure, but those who have built it through experience remain steady even when things get difficult. They don't rely on external validation because they have internal proof of their own capability. They don't seek approval because they know who they are. They don't fear failure because they have already overcome failure many times before. Confidence is not about never feeling afraid. It is about moving forward despite the fear. It is not about being perfect. It is about being prepared. And it is not about what you say. It is about what you do. Stop waiting to feel confident. Start doing the things that build confidence. Face the discomfort, embrace the struggle, and put in the effort. When you do that, confidence will not be something you have to force. It will be something you have earned, and no one will be able to take it away from you.